Hello all, welcome to Diamonds Divine Creations. Here to share another one of my dinner recipes with you all. I am Diamond. I do hope that everyone is doing well and feeling well on today, guys. So real quick, let's go through some ingredients and see what all we're going to be using today. Okay? So this meal is going to include shrimp. Now you can get the raw shrimp. This is cooked shrimp, okay, which means if you use this kind, it's not going to take very long to prep or cook this shrimp, okay? But I am using the cooked shrimp, peeled and extra large shrimp here, okay? So we have our shrimp. I'm also using some boneless, skinless chicken breast pieces, which I already have out of the package and I have thawing here. Okay, so I'm only going to use a small portion of the chicken breast. You can do your chicken breast however you would like to, but whether you use the whole chicken breast, grill it, cook it however you want to, and cut it up. But you can also buy boneless, skinless chicken breast pieces, okay, that comes in small pieces like this. And don't worry guys, I literally just got through washing my hands. That comes in pieces like this, but this is boneless, skinless chicken breast here, okay guys? We're also going to be using peas and carrots in this dish, guys. We are going to be using yellow rice, okay? I'm also going to be using, these are spring roll wrappers. You can use spring roll wrappers, you can use egg roll wrappers, depending on what you like, okay? I also am using crispy onions here. I'm going to be using, now I usually use, make my own lo mein pasta noodles, okay? However, I didn't have any more. So these are actually the same, it's just already packaged. This is chow mein here, so I'm going to be using this for this meal as well, guys. And let's take a look at our vegetables. So this is cabbage, okay? I am going to be using cabbage for this dish. I also have here onion as well as green and red bell peppers, guys, okay? So, in conjunction to, that is the main meal in which we are cooking on today. But I'm going to be using lemon juice, sweet and sour sauce, Hawaiian sauce, and our seasonings. Let's move this back here. Our seasonings we're going to be using is garlic powder, onion powder, lemon pepper seasoning, Tajin seasoning, black pepper. Now, if you would like to, you can use, I also have minced garlic here. If you would like to, you also can use seasoning salt, regular seasoning salt, regular salt and pepper. If you would like to, you also can use garlic salt, okay? So these are the seasonings that I'm going to be using on today for this meal, guys, okay? Okay, guys, so you definitely want to make sure you're using a clean surface, you're cooking in a clean area. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when prepping this meal, getting ready to cook this meal, is to take care of your meats first, okay? Now, chicken takes a little bit longer to unthaw. So the chicken that I'm going to be using here is already unthawed here, okay? However, if you are using this, as you can see, the shrimp is still frozen here, okay? But those of you who eat seafood, like seafood, cook with seafood, you know that seafood does not take a long time to unthaw at all. So I decided to keep this in the freezer until I was ready to use it. Okay? So you want to prep your meat first, okay? Now, Depending on how many people you're going to be cooking for determines whether you're going to use the entirety of this bag, or you know, for however much you need for how many people you're feeding. Okay. So if your shrimp is still frozen, you would get yourself a bowl. Okay, put your shrimp in. And you want to clean your meat anyway, okay? I see a lot of people that just be like, honey, they be going all in, calling themselves cooking. Don't wash their meat, don't season their meat or nothing, okay? You always want to make sure you clean your meat, okay? This stuff is like pre-packaged. It comes from factories and slaughterhouses and wherever it comes, and the whole chain of command that it goes down before it hits your local grocery stores, okay? You don't know whose hands, utensils, or anything else have been on this stuff. Always wash your meat, okay? Otherwise, don't be surprised if you get sick from not washing your meats and your vegetables and different things like that, okay? So guys, you're going to if your meats are frozen, okay, you're going to want to wash them, clean them, let them sit on, let this shrimp sit in this water for just a little bit here. It's going to unthaw in like less than 5 minutes, okay, maybe 2-3 minutes, okay? This shrimp is going to be ready. Okay, and like I said, this is pre-cooked shrimp here, okay? Because my chicken is already unthawed, because like I said, chicken and other meats like that, they take longer to unthaw. It depends on how big the pieces are, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to season my meat, my chicken here, to my liking, okay? And as soon as that shrimp gets done, a lot of people that package shrimp like that, especially the cooked shrimp, I've seen so many people just like pour that straight into whatever they putting it in, whether it's just some plain water or some sauce or something like that. You can season those, otherwise it's going to be very bland and it's not going to taste like anything, okay? But what you want to do is you want to make sure your meats are washed and clean first, okay? And then season your meat and let them sit aside and just kind of marinate in that seasoning until you're ready to start cooking your meat, okay? That way that flavor just sits all down in your in the meat that you're going to be using, okay, guys? You can stir that around. Some people, you can season both sides to make sure it's good and flavorful, okay? I'm going to be seasoning several different things here, okay? You definitely don't want to overdo it if you're someone who already has like high blood pressure or high cholesterol or anything like that, okay? Okay, guys. So that's good. I'm going to sit this chicken to the side real quick. I'm going to put a little bit of lemon juice with my seasonings on this chicken. That lemon flavor is going to soak up in that chicken. It's going to be so good when you get to cooking it, okay? So you want to set this aside. We're going to wait for this shrimp to unthaw. We're going to season it and let it, you know, marinate in those seasonings as well. Okay, guys? The next thing you want to do, you need a smaller pot. Like I said, it depends on how many people that you are cooking for here, okay? This little small bag of yellow rice here, once it's done, could literally feed about 4 people, okay? But you could use a smaller pot like this, okay? So what you do is you fill up this pot halfway with water here, okay? For this rice. It also calls for you to use some type of oil, like I use olive oil, okay? Which is another ingredient here that I'm using, guys. Organic extra virgin olive oil, okay? You're going to add that to your water. You can use butter if you would like to. Okay, add that to your water and go ahead and set that on your stove for it to start preheating. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is start cutting our vegetables. Okay, now considering the fact you can't buy cabbage and cut up pieces or anything, you're not going to use this entire cabbage, guys. Okay, so I'm going to rinse off my cabbage here. We're only going to use, we're not even going to use half of this cabbage, because this cabbage, I'm adding cabbage to the lo mein noodles. Okay, and I'm also going to use cabbage in the spring roll wrappers. Okay, now real quick, most people don't know the bags, you know how in the area in your grocery store where you see like all of the vegetables, like the lettuce, the cabbage, then you'll see shredded lettuce, coleslaw, things like that. Some people are unaware, but coleslaw, the bags that you see with the coleslaw in it, that's actually cabbage. It has the green cabbage in it, the purple cabbage in it, and it has carrots in it. That's all that's in there. If you want cabbage that's already shredded, you can buy that and you can use it in your egg roll wrappers or your spring roll wrappers. Okay, because that's all the coleslaw mix is cabbage. Okay, otherwise, I bought a whole head of cabbage though. Okay, because I'm going to make another dinner where I'm going to do fried cabbage. Okay, so I bought a whole head here. Okay, so we're gonna cut a good chunk of this cabbage. Okay, and you want to chop this down long ways, and then you can kind of do it in squares. Okay, you just need a little bit to go in your noodles, in your lo mein noodles, lo mein, chow mein, whichever one you decide to use, as well as we're going to do some spring rolls as well. And I'm going to fry this cabbage. Okay, now not everybody season their cabbage, but I do. Okay, it's good to have flavor in everything. Okay, so that seems like it'll be enough. You're not using much of this cabbage at all if you do have a whole head of cabbage. Okay, guys. So the rest of this, we're just gonna wrap back up and refrigerate. Okay, guys. I'm gonna tore a little bit more off of here. I'm gonna add this in here just to have some more of that greenery part of the cabbage. And even though I rinsed this off, you definitely want to wash your cabbage again, okay? Because even your vegetables need to be cleaned, okay? So I'm going to wash this cabbage again, guys, real quick. And after you finish rinsing off your cabbage, you're going to drain it. Okay. And you can also use like a draining type of bowl here. You're going to put that in there. Or if you could rinse you can put it in a draining bowl like this when you're chopping it up, the pieces up, or when you're rinsing it or what have you, to make sure you get that excess water off there. Now there's different ways to cook cabbage. Some people boil the cabbage. Other people fry cabbage. Okay, I want that crisp to my cabbage, so I'm going to fry this cabbage, guys. Okay, I'm just chopping down some more of these big chunks here. Okay. So that's how you do that, guys. And then we're going to transfer this over into our pan. Okay, guys. So now I'm going to transfer my cabbage into your pan or your skillet that you're going to fry it in. I am going to, another ingredient here, guys. I am going to use some distilled vinegar. Okay, we're just going to pour just a little bit of that vinegar in there on your cabbage. Also, I'm going to use a bit of olive oil because I'm frying the cabbage. I'm going to add some minced garlic. And you can add as much or as little of this as you want to, guys. Maybe about a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half, or 2 teaspoons. Just depends on how much garlic you like, okay? I just used a little bit because I'm going to use garlic seasonings as well, guys, okay? So we're going to season the cabbage up. This is onion powder, garlic powder, pepper. You only want a little bit of that pepper because I'm also going to put a tad bit of lemon pepper in here as well, guys. And just a tad bit of this Cajun seasoning as well. Now you can add you some garlic salt in there if you want to. You can add you some regular salt. Okay, and if you don't like all those seasonings, you could just, you know, dress it up with just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, okay, and, you know, leave it like that. If you don't want all those other seasonings, because obviously everybody don't like flavor, you know. Okay, now we're going to cut up our other vegetables here, guys, okay? And I need a little bit of onion and peppers in the lo mein, as well as I need onions and peppers, a little bit of onions and peppers in the lo mein, as well as the rice here, okay? So I'm gonna cut up a pretty decent portion of onion. Of course, you're going to want to cut off any parts of this that you don't want out here. Now, I always rinse my vegetable first, then cut them up and rinse them again, just to make sure that you got clean, you know, food and different things that's going in here that you're using or what have you. So this is, I mean, you can cut this up as fine as you would like to. It doesn't have to be, you know, chopped to perfection and little bitty dice, you know, or anything like that. Or what have you, guys. I think I'm going to going to definitely need a little bit of more because now I'm going to add the onions and the peppers to the cabbage, okay? But like I said, I'm using cabbage in both the spring roll and the lo mein, okay? So I'm going to do just a little bit more onion in here because I actually need probably more onion than I need peppers here, okay? And this was already this was a pre-sliced onion, so I haven't really used like that entirety of this onion for this dish, okay? For those of you who are like trying to measure how much onion to use based on how much onion I have left here, I had already used this onion before, okay? Okay, so you're going to chop that up really good, guys. We're going to do the same thing with both, now, technically, green bell pepper and red bell pepper is the same. They're both bell peppers. They just happen to be two different colors, okay? You don't have to use both if you don't want to. It do add a bit of, you know, extra color to your food and different things and what have you. So whatever, you know, whatever makes you happy, whatever you want to do. You can use both or you could just use one of these. If you do decide to use one, then use the green bell pepper, okay guys? Can y'all see that? Sorry. So we're slicing up the bell pepper here. Yeah. And I'm going to put just a little bit of both in mine. Like I said, you can use either one or both if you like. And that'll be just fine, okay? So we're going to chop these down really good. You don't want really big, you know, huge chunks, okay? But they don't have to be like really small and, you know, diced up either, okay, guys? Okay. So we have our onions and our peppers here. You can use green onion in this dish if you want to. That gives it some really nice, you know, flavor as well. That green onion just kind of have a different kick to it than your regular onion, but you don't, you know, it's not a necessity either for this recipe, okay? But I have used it before in this recipe when I've made this. Okay, so real quick, we're just gonna cut up a bit more bell pepper here. This is the red bell pepper that I'm adding now. I'm gonna wash this off, and then we're going to add this. We're gonna add about half of this portion to the cabbage, okay? And then I'm going to save some to add to my rice, okay? Now, once you get to putting your rice on, you're going to cook your rice like halfway, okay? And then you're going to add your peas and carrots, and then you're going to add your onions and your bell peppers to it, okay? So we got that all done. Set this aside, guys. That the shrimp is nice and ready to season now. So I'm going to drain the shrimp. Real quick, I'm going to drain this shrimp. Our shrimp is ready now. I told you it doesn't take long for seafood to unthaw. Okay? So now those of you who just don't like flavor like that, okay, you don't have to season your shrimp, okay? But I promise you it tastes so much better if you do, okay? So I'm going to use a little bit of the Tajin seasoning, just a little bit of garlic salt, a little bit of onion pepper, a little bit of, not onion pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, okay, y'all, and I love this lemon pepper. Y'all don't even understand, honey, okay? Add a little bit of that on there. Okay, I'll give this a good little toss around here. And what I'm going to do is when my cabbage is about half done, I'm going to add my pre-cooked shrimp here, okay? Because like I said, on this pre-cooked shrimp, you don't have to cook it very long, okay? Just long enough for it to get tender and brown on either side here, okay, guys? So now what I'm going to do, oh, hold on, let me rinse this off again. I always double rinse my vegetables. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add this blend of onions and bell peppers to the cabbage. Okay? And we're going to save just a little bit, like I said, to go in the rice. And we're going to set this aside, okay? Now your cabbage is ready to put on, okay? You can sit your cabbage on your stove, okay, under like medium heat, guys, okay? It kind of depends on if you have an electric stove or if you have a gas stove. Okay, if you have a gas stove like I have, you're gonna put it on like 4. Okay, if you have an electric stove, I think it goes like medium heat, high heat, low heat, something like that. Put it on medium heat, okay? Now you can put your cabbage on, and we're going to fry that. There's no need to put a lid on that, okay? And you're not going to cook it for very long. You're going to fry your cabbage for maybe 5 to 8 minutes, okay? Your water is boiling for your rice now, so you're going to take your rice, all the seasonings and other content to your rice is already in the bag here, okay? So all you need to do is to dump your bag of rice, and if you want to follow any other instructions that they have on here, okay, it actually tells you you use 1.5 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, okay, and you're gonna boil in a medium saucepan, okay, and then you add, once it gets to boiling, you add your yellow rice, okay. And as I said, it already has its own seasonings in there. When those seasonings and those flavors get blended into that rice really good, you know, you want to occasionally stir, okay? To make sure those flavors are blending good, okay? When some of that water starts evaporating or dissolving, you can add whatever else you're going to add, which in our case, we're going to add peas and carrots, and then we're going to add our onions and our peppers, okay, into that mixture. Okay, guys? Now, since I'm not doing the regular lo mein, like I said, I told you I ran out of, once I figured out this meal plan, I looked and I realized I didn't have any more lo mein, but you actually can buy it in the grocery stores. It says, you know, lo mein. It's in a yellow box and what have you. But this is really the same, okay? It's just got all its flavors and seasons and stuff already in the bag here. On this, you can make this like a regular ramen, okay? So you're just going to add boiling hot water to it. Let it sit to those noodles cook. Add the seasonings in there. But we're going to hook it up and we're going to add some extras, honey, okay? And we're going to make it do what it do, guys, okay? So that is your meal prep thus far, okay? You're going to keep a close eye on your rice as well as your fried cabbage, okay? If you cook your cabbage longer than about 5 to 8 minutes, it'll still be good. It's just going to get more soggy. You're not going to have that crisp to the cabbage anymore, okay? So you don't want to cook it longer than about 8 minutes because we want fried cabbage. We want that crispy taste to the cabbage, guys, okay? So when that's about half done, we're going to add the shrimp to the cabbage, okay, guys? And the chicken, we're going to put this chicken on here as well. Y'all would think I was amongst the Mediterraneans, people who eat Mediterranean food and different things like that. They eat a lot of olive oil, guys. I love olive oil, okay? So I cook a lot with olive oil. I drink olive oil. I put olive oil on my salads, like, okay? It's never ending with olive oil, okay? You can't go wrong with the olive oil, okay? But, okay, for this, you could use like a cooking spray. Like you could either use, I have olive oil cooking spray as well as I have the butter cooking spray. You can spray your pan with that, add your chicken in there, okay? However, I'm going to drizzle my pan here with olive oil, okay? We are going to add that seasoned chicken. That we had sitting and marinating for a little bit, okay? Now some of you may be wondering, well, what is the chicken for? If you add the shrimp to the chicken pieces go in the spring roll wrappers with the cabbage, okay? And then we're adding a little bit of cabbage to the lo mein as well, okay? That's the reason why we don't have much chicken here, okay? Because I'm only going to make, you know, maybe 4 of the spring rolls, okay? I just wanted to show you how that was done, okay? But the shrimp is actually going in the cabbage, okay? And once we blend that in with the lo mein, it'll be like shrimp and cabbage and lo mein, one dish, okay? The rice is a side dish, and the spring rolls is a side dish, okay? And that's the meal, guys, okay? Okay, you all. Now this is what your fried cabbage should look like after 5 minutes or so. Okay, it still has that crispiness to it. It's already done. Okay, you're gonna mix those flavors around really good. Okay, now we're going to add our cooked shrimp to our cabbage here, okay? And we're gonna put it back on here. I took it off at 5 minutes, okay? Add the cooked shrimp, and we're gonna put it back on. We're gonna cook it for another maybe 3 to 5 more minutes. It just depends on, you know, your liking. But like I said, this is already cooked shrimp, so it doesn't have to cook very long, guys, okay? But that's how it's going to look, okay? Now we're gonna put this back on the stove. And we're gonna finish the remainder of this dish, guys. Okay, you all, as you can see here, we still have quite a bit of liquid in our rice. It still needs to cook some more. It's not done yet, okay? But we're gonna give that a good stir of all the flavors here, okay? But we want to add our vegetables now to this, okay? You can add as much or as little peas and carrots as you would like, okay? You're gonna add those peas and carrots in there. It's gonna soak up all that flavor in there with the rice, just like so, okay? And we're going to add our onions and our peppers in here. Okay. I want to blend those flavors in there like that, guys. And we're going to put this back on the stove for probably another 5 minutes or so. We're gonna cook it the rest of the way. You'll know when it's done, when all of that all of those juices have evaporated, okay, and your rice has risen to the top and it's all done. Okay, you want to cook this uncovered as well. You don't have to cover this up. Now, if you have a gas stove, you want to put it on like a 3, okay? If you have an electric stove, you're going to put it on like medium to low heat, okay? This is your chicken that we're adding to the spring rolls, okay? So we're going to brown this up just a little bit more and it'll be ready as well. Okay, guys? Okay, guys. So this is your finished dish of your cabbage with your shrimp, okay, guys? But I forgot to show you one thing, okay? So your shrimp, you can either take the shrimp out to do this and then add it back in there, or you can do it before you do it, or either you could just take a portion of the cabbage out that you're going to use for the spring rolls, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my sauce to this, to the cooked shrimp now, guys. So this is Hawaiian sauce. I'm going to use a bit of Hawaiian sauce. And we're going to use a bit of sweet and sour as well, guys, okay? So those are the 2 sauces that you need on your shrimp. Now you can put them on there, like I said before. You cook that shrimp, or you can do it like how I'm doing it right now, okay? And I want a bit of basil, so I'm going to add a bit of basil. You can do this. You don't have to with the basil, okay? We are going to give this a good stir. That's your shrimp all flavored up now. And also, guys, if you want to, you can. You don't have to cook your shrimp together with your cabbage, but those seasonings like blend so well, okay? But if you want to cook them separate, that is perfectly fine. Okay? So I have my cabbage portion out that I'm going to use for the spring roll. And I'm going to add my flavor shrimp back to this cabbage. Okay, and this we are adding to the lo mein. Okay, guys? So that's how that looked there. Okay, guys, so this is your finished rice. Okay, you see how that rice has risen to the top. The majority of those liquids have evaporated in there. All that flavor has simmered in your rice and on your vegetables and your onions and peppers and everything. This is what the finished product is going to look like with this. You do still see a bit of juices and flavors in there. If you want that completely evaporated, put it back on the stove under low heat of what have you. But if not, that just keeps your rice and your vegetables and everything moist and everything as well, and it's just as good like that as well. Okay, because the longer it sits in there, it's going to evaporate anyway, guys. Okay, so that's that. Now I'm going to show you all how to do the spring rolls. Now the key to using spring rolls, as you can see, is actually kind of like, it almost is like it seems like a piece of paper, or like I don't even know what to call it exactly, but this is how the spring roll wrapper look. The key to this is to getting it soft is to wet it. Okay, now you can whatever plate you are using, you can wet it and sit it on there and let it soak up that moisture, or you could just damp it real quick. Okay, and the more you dampen it, as you can see, it softens up. Okay, guys. Now, whatever you want in here, you're going to put that on there like that. Okay, it's going to soften up more and more depending on how much moisture you put on it. Okay. Whatever you would ingredients you're going to use in your spring roll, you're just going to put that in there like that. Okay, and you roll it up. Okay, guys, and after you do that, you fry them, okay, to get the outside crispy again. Also, I meant to tell you guys, you add your chicken to this little combination of cabbage that you set aside. Okay, so you're gonna add that chicken and that cabbage to your spring roll, just like that, guys. And then very carefully you're going to roll these. Okay, this is kind of difficult for me because my nails are so long. It's not difficult, but it can be a headache, okay, when you have nails. Okay, so you're gonna roll one side up, then you're gonna fold in the sides, and it's gonna stick to it really good. Now with this, guys, you only need like a little bit of oil in your pan that you're going to use to fry these. Okay, now if you're going to use egg roll wrappers, you're going to do the same process with the egg roll wrapper. Okay, but it's a thicker type of wrapper. Okay, and those get deep fried. Okay, so you can have, like, you know, a deep fryer, like as much grease as you would put in a deep fryer, or as much grease you would use in your skillet if you were, say, frying chicken or something, because egg rolls have to be deep fried. This here, you only need like a small amount of oil. I'm going to show you a small amount of oil in your skillet. Okay, and you're just going to crispen, is that a word? You're going to crisp either side of your spring roll, y'all. Okay, is the point. Okay, so that's your spring roll, honey. That's how you do that. And that's what it looks like after you've wrapped it up. Okay, I'm going to do a few more of these, and then we're going to fry them up, guys. And this is going to be a side dish to go with our meal. Okay. Let me set this over here, and then I'm going to do another one of these. So that's our rolled one. I have another one right here, and we're going to do the same process over again, guys. And you can put whatever you want. I've done spring rolls with spinach in them. you know, fresh spinach or what have you. You could do lettuce wraps. You can do any type of wraps that you want to, like, you know, whatever floats your boat, whatever make you happy. Okay. Now I will tell you, like I said, you do need the moisture to soften your spring roll wrappers up. Okay, but the less moisture you use, the easier it is to roll it. Okay, you just need it soft enough to, you know, fold them the way you need to. Okay, and the way I do, just to keep, you just have the plate that you use a little damp. Okay, and then I take one of these sheets here and you turn on your faucet and just run the water over your faucet, over the spring roll wrap front and back, and before it get way too soggy or way too soft where it's harder to roll, go ahead and put your contents in there. By the time you do that, it's soft enough for you to fold, and you can roll that thing and keep on going. Okay, this one here, I may not have put enough moisture on it. There you go. But that's all you do, guys. That's how you roll a spring roll. Okay, y'all, now your spring rolls are ready to fry. And I know what y'all thinking. Y'all like, oh my gosh, she gonna whip out the olive oil once again. You can use olive oil, guys, okay? But for this, I am going to use vegetable oil. Thank you very much. Okay, so look, like I said, you don't need a whole lot of oil in there. Okay, because you don't want to deep fry these. Okay, you just want enough oil in there where you can fry one side and flip it over, then fry the other side. Okay, so get your pan, put your oil in there, get it on the stove, guys. Wait till it get nice and hot, and then add your spring rolls. Okay, guys, so after if you're using the same package contents that the same lo mein noodles that I'm using, after your noodles are done, you know it's got that sauce package in there. You're going to add that sauce in there, and you're going to give that a really good stir. Okay, don't overstarch your noodles. I can't stand overstarch pasta. Okay, some people like it like that, all extra soggy and stuff or something. But yeah, that's not how it's supposed to be. Once you get that done, guys, you are now going to add this to the cabbage and your shrimp, okay? And then we're going to mix those contents up like so. Okay, just like that. Now you have shrimp lo mein with cabbage in there. Okay. Now you can do separately if you want. If you want your pasta separate from your cabbage and your cabbage separate from your shrimp. If you want everything separate, some people are picky eaters like that. They don't like all their food touching. Okay, if you one of those type of people, then you know, by all means, honey, feel free. You can separate all your food, but this is how I'm doing it. Okay, this is how it's gonna go, y'all, and that's how that looks when you get that done. Okay, guys, this grease is really, really hot, but I'm sitting this over here so y'all can see it, okay? Once you got your grease getting hot, okay, now you want to add your spring rolls. I don't think I'm going to just do 2 at a time. And you want to get that, let it get crisp on one side, and then we're going to flip it over. Don't let them be too close to one another, because that spring roll wrapper, it'll stick together. It sticks together really, really easily, okay? So you're going to cook it for a few minutes on one side, and then you're going to flip it over and cook it on the other side, guys, okay? And that's how you make your spring rolls. Okay, you all, so that's what your fried spring rolls look like when they are all done, okay? Guess what, guys? It is time to eat. Bon appetit. So this is your finished product, guys. You have your yellow rice with your peas and your carrots. You have your lo mein and cabbage with your shrimp, and you have your fried spring rolls, okay? Now, if you are anything like myself and a big bread eater, or you just like bread, whether you're a big bread eater or not, what I'm going to do to have with my dinner is something the Asian culture do quite often. It's called fried biscuits, okay? So I am going to have me some fried biscuits, guys. And you can do this however you want to, whether you make dough from scratch, or you could buy a can of biscuits, okay? And you're going to cut those into donut size little round circles, roll them up, and throw them in your fresh grease. Once it is good and hot, once those are done, they're gonna puff up kind of like donuts. Once those are done, you're gonna take them out, and you're going to get you like a little sugar bowl or whatever. I have one over here. You could use regular sugar, you could use powdered sugar, you could use brown sugar, however you want to flavor yours, and just put a little bit of get a little bit of that flavor of that sugar on your fried biscuits, y'all, and it is so darn good, okay? Especially with a meal like this, okay? So I enjoyed you all. I hope you all enjoyed, okay? I hope you try this recipe with your family or just for yourself, okay? But if not, at the very least, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for joining me on today. This has been another one of Diamond's Divine Creations. Okay, till the next time, guys. Remember, if you would like to contact me with any type of recipe ideas, you can reach me at tiff.diamond36@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram, which is Shine Bright Like a Diamond 36 with the underscore between each word. For any person who is interested in donating to the channel to help support this brand new channel of mine, you can do so through Cash App, which is $TiffDiamond36, or through PayPal, which is paypal.me/@36diamond. As always, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, but most of all, take care of your baby Sonny. Remember, this is a wicked, wicked world that we live in. There is wickedness in high places, and there is evil that is lurking around each and every corner, even in a neighborhood near you. So y'all watch your surroundings. Watch the company you keep, or the surroundings and the company in which your children are in as well. And considering the fact that you never know when someone may betray you, backstab you, try to hurt you, or harm you, honey, keep you some protection on you. Y'all stay awake, stay aware, stay vigilant, and stay prepared. Until the next time, peace, love, and light. Namaste. I am that I am, created in the image of God.